Welcome to the Midnight Matinee with your host and hostess, Robert and Angi Curtis.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Midnight Matinee. Tonight is another one of our 31 Days of Halloween horror movies. This one is...
I think it's number 18. It's either 17 or 18.
All right.
You know me.
We're in the teens still. So.
And it's the Nun.
The Nun.
You know, none of this, none of that.
You get none.
Yeah. Okay, for those who don't know, when a young nun is cloistered in an abbey in Romania, takes her life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate, I guess, on the threshold of her final vows, are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together they uncover Order's unholy secret, risking not only their lives but their faith and their very souls. They confront a malevolent force in the form of a demonic young. I think we should have a thing like a counter. How many times I mess up words?
How many times you misspelled or mispronounce something?
I am not. I was actually one of my sweet mates when I was in college was a speech pathology major, and she thought it was she tested on me because I have certain words that I can't, like civilization. I can say it now, but back then, forget about it. It was like counter, pink, 2, 3.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, we're talking about the Nun.
The Nun.
And if you haven't seen, the poster for this at some point, it's spooky.
Yeah. They introduced in, what was it, The Conjuring 2?
Yes.
Is when they introduced Valak as the overarching nemesis of the couple. Who are they?
Oh, you're talking about the Warrens.
The Warrens,
yeah.
Right. And in that episode, that movie, there's the word Valak spelled out on blocks on the wall, and there's like a thing on another wall that says Valak, and it's hidden everywhere. And then the Ed Warren character has a painting therapy thing that he does, and he painted a picture of a nun, and then it degenerated into the Valak demon. So that's where this comes from. And then this movie is the backstory.
It's a prequel,
the nun. Right?
That even predates Annabelle.
Right.
And Valak, I learned, is actually is a demon, but is depicted as a child riding a 2-headed dragon. There's your dragons.
Yeah, more dragons.
Dragging on with the dragons.
Yeah. So basically, in this story, the young about to be nun, the one, she hasn't taken her vows yet, so she's not a full
Sister Irene,
cloistered nun.
Yeah.
She is sent with the clergy's investigator to go to Romania to this nunnery and investigate a suicide,
yes.
apparent suicide. So that's the premise. That's the setup. And then they get to Romania, and then they have to go through this darkened region out to this castle, and it's very gothic and very dark and very foreboding and misty, and it's full of a lot of symbolism.
Yeah. They I read when I was doing some research that in Romania you can't actually film in an actual church. There's a law against it. So they recreated the inside of the church, for which pretty much the good portion of the movie
takes place. Yeah.
And that even on the stairs there's hidden words that you can see that was part of the thing. But going back to the whole that's Valak, the thing was what made me think of it. But
so that's where the tie between Valak and the nun, this is where it comes from in that the Conjuring verse. So that's what happens, and it actually stars Vera Farmiga's niece, is it?
I think it's her niece.
Yeah. So she looks exactly like Vera Farmiga, like a young version of her, which is kind of weird because when you're watching this movie, you're like, why does she look like the lady from the Conjuring movies? And then you find out that she's actually related to her, so that's why they look so much alike. And I don't think I've ever seen her in anything before this.
I don't think so either.
And she is basically the star of this movie, and she nails it. She is so good in this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on, and lots of stunts and action, and you know, lots of you know, demanding work in this movie, and she nails it. So kudos to
And this thing
Taissa
had,
Farmiga.
I was saying, this one also had a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
That, you know, and they go to this, you know, and you're talking about, I think it was set in the 30s, 50s, 40s, somewhere in that generation. I can't remember. Maybe it was the 50s.
I want to say it was in the post-war era, so it was like in the late 40s.
But yeah, they were out in the middle of nowhere, and these nuns don't talk.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
a vow of silence.
Vow of silence, and you know, it's just a very foreboding, incredible cinematography in my opinion. But the whole movie is just dark and foreboding, and just amazing.
They meet a French guy who's like the one who does like the running for the nunnery. He brings them like their food and other things.
And
he's kind of like the go-between between the village and the nuns, and they meet that guy, and he becomes an integral part of the story. And actually, in the part 2 of this movie, he's even more of a part of that story. So,
yes, but we don't know spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. This is it's a solid movie. And honestly, if you were going to do one of those things where you watched the Conjuring verse movies in order, this would be the first movie that you watch. So this is a really good entrance into this long story at this point, because there's a bunch of movies in the Conjuring verse, and we
intentionally set out normally when we do our 31 days of Halloween movies, I take all the movies, I put them in the bowl, and I pull them out at random.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I decided that we were going to do.
And we're going to group them together, so that way you weren't like
we
seeing
did
part 3 and then a part 2 and then like we had in the past.
Yeah, I actually did these in chronological order in terms of the subject.
Yeah.
So we started with the Nun, and then I think the Nun 2, and then it was into whatever Annabelle and all that. So we kind of watched them how they would have happened.
Not in the release order, but in the universe's order.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
So that the stories all kind of plug in together instead of falling in where they were released, because some of them are prequels, some of them are postscripts, so they go back and forth a lot. And the problem with doing it this way is that Annabelle Returns or whatever, that the prequel to the Annabelle movies is like the second or third movie in the series.
Like it was early on,
and it is not a good movie.
of all the Conjuring universe movies, I will say that it was probably one of the weakest, right next to the La Llorona.
La Llorona,
that's it. That's
what I'm
4,
here for.
I think, on the counter for Angie's misspells or mispronunciations.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I kind of like the Curse of La Llorona. It wasn't, because it was like a step back.
Yeah.
Because it's in the Conjuring verse per se, because the priest is the same priest from the Conjuring movie, so that's how it ties in. But it doesn't tie in any other way.
Now, he was the priest. What was it? Was it one of the Annabelle movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's how it fits into the Conjuring verse. But other than that, and then they mention the Warrens in a part of it too, and that's the.
But it happened on the West Coast, while everything else happens on the East Coast.
In England. There's the one where the little girls were possessed.
Yes.
That one takes place in England. So
that's right. The Conjuring 2.
Yeah. So I really like it. And there's a really good twist at the end, so it kind of gets you going one way, and then it kind of takes like a left turn, and then you're kind of left like, oh wow, I didn't see that, but it was happening the whole time right under my nose and I didn't see it, and then you're kind of like, oh, I like that. So it was a solid movie in my opinion.
And these are the kind of movies too that there's things that you're missing.
Yeah.
And it's good to rewatch, like the whole Valak being hidden in different spots. Well, you wouldn't catch it in the first time.
When we saw The Conjuring 2 in a theater, remember I said that? I'm like, what is Valak? And you were like, what does that mean? And I was like, I don't know. It said it on the little the little thing on the wall said V, and then Valak, and then the blocks said Valak right next to her head. And then there was another part, too, where I saw that in their house, and I'm like...
Well, they said in this movie there's even, like, the license plate of, I think... in the town, and then there was something else. I can't think what they're talking about. But it's fun to watch for this stuff. I love Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of that, too, because it's a lot of fun when you're watching a movie that's set in the same universe as something else, and then you see an Easter egg for it, you know, and you're like, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good movie in our opinion, I think. What's our...
Oh, I would definitely say here or here. You want to put up our haunted rating system?
We'll
I want to say that it's probably either Nightmare Fuel or Hell's Bells. I'm leaning more to 4, I think.
Yeah. I would say it's probably Nightmare Fuel, in my opinion, because it has some big shoulders of its peers, because the universe that this movie fits into are some powerhouse movies.
Yeah,
you know,
especially The Conjuring.
And
the first one was really amazing.
So I would...
And they've got another one coming out. I think it's...
There's another one of these coming out.
Yeah, something... Oh, another Nun is
coming out?
There's
another Nun movie coming out. So
well,
yeah.
Nightmare Fuel. It takes you to the edge of terror, leaving a chill in your spine, dark and twisted in all the right ways.
Yep. I would say if this movie had came out and it wasn't... You know, didn't have anything. The Conjuring movies never happened. This would be a Hell's Bells because it has fantastic cinematography. The acting is amazing. The story is really good. The directing and director of photography, the sets, like everything is really good in it. And it like I said, it has a twist at the end. So that's the thing that I love in movies. So I would give it a Hell's Bells if it weren't in this universe of absolutely amazing movies.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why it's one notch down, because it's on the shelf with other amazing films that are better than this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But without the Conjuring verse, this movie is a 5 out of 5. So.
And I think talking about the Nun today was very appropriate, because they anoint, they select, they anoint.
No, they select him, and then he has to be
Pope Leo, and he's the first one from the United States.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. How about that?
Finally.
But then he goes up there to receive the scepter and everything, and then he's speaking in Italian. I'm like, what?
What?
Can't you speak in English, man?
So was he originally Italian and lived in Chicago?
No, he's born in Chicago.
How does that
He lived in Peru for years.
Peru.
He was the pontiff of Peru. So he lived down there for decades. So.
I still think Papa V would have been a great Papa.
I don't think that would fly.
For those who don't know, we love the band Ghost. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I don't think that would be cool if they selected a Swedish guy.
Swedish rocker.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay, let's reel it back.
Reel it back.
Okay, so is there anything anything else we've got going on that we've been watching? What have we been watching upstairs? I can't even remember.
I don't think we've watched anything spooky for a while.
Oh, we've been watching Andor. That's why.
Yeah, we were watching Andor, and we're watching that.
We watched that one about the murder.
Outer Banks.
Oh well, murder
mindfully on Netflix. That was cute.
Yeah, if you like something that's a little quirky, a little bit
of humor. It's still dark humor. Yeah,
dark humor, but it's got a lawyer. It's actually is it German? I think it is German or Polish. One of them.
I think it's German.
It's
definitely.
German. Yeah, he is a lawyer who is for
he represents a mafia boss.
No, yeah.
It's like his only client is like a top tier mafioso, and he's basically the go-between, and then he goes to a coach that helps him calm down and get his focus back, and part of his focus is that he bumps off his boss. That's the whole premise of the show, so I'm not spoiling anything.
But yeah, it's funny. It's almost it's definitely
funny.
If you have a dark sense of humor, I would recommend it.
And the guy who plays,
and it's subtitled. I mean, it's dubbed in English.
It's dubbed pretty good too.
Yeah.
Like even in the beginning, the first episode, I was like, "Who is that narrator? Is that Ryan Reynolds?" His voice sounded like Ryan Reynolds to me.
And it had Brita from
Oh yeah, from the Kingdom.
Last Kingdom.
Last Kingdom, yeah.
we like Vikings too.
Yeah, so that was fun. To see her in something where she's not covered in dirt and drinking all the time.
And beating up somebody.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. I started watching the.
That's right. We started.
What was it? The Coffee Table.
Oh, you said that, yeah.
Everybody recommended this movie, The Coffee Table, and I watched the first maybe 40 minutes of it, and I was like, it's not a horror movie yet, so I don't know. There's a lot of build-up, and it's in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to stop what you're doing and read subtitles, and they talk very fast. So I haven't gotten to anything that I would consider horror yet in this horror movie, so...
Somebody made a recommendation, and I'm completely drawn a blank. Oh, the one... Oh, my God, the one with the little ballerina girl. It was a recommendation. Abigail.
Yeah.
Which I did see one night. He has not seen
I haven't seen it. I wanted to see it, though. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think it's on Max or it's on one of my pay channels.
Yeah.
So
we'll watch that.
Yeah, I want to say it was somebody on TikTok recommended it for us. So... give us a recommendation.
Yeah, give us all your recommendations. We'll watch it. We have, what do we have?
We have Paramount
Plus. We have Max. We have Shudder.
Netflix.
We have Netflix.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't know. Horror on Disney Plus. Horrible.
When they put Snow White on there, it'll be horror. The live action one, not the original.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of anything that we have coming up. I didn't see anything other than that, the one we did the short for, with the lady who needs to paint her fingernails.
Oh.
What was that?
Oh, yeah, what was that? I don't know.
It's coming out in June, so we'll go see that, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not going to go see that other one.
Oh, the one with the house?
Yeah.
Until Dawn.
Till Dawn. That looks dumb. And the reviews are out now. The first
and it's bad. It's bad.
It's a stinker. So I'm glad we didn't go see that. And we saw the
Sinners
instead of that movie, which Sinners was amazing. Such a good movie.
You said somebody though commented they didn't like it.
Yeah, well, it was a troll. It's not a real comment. It was a troll.
Well,
that person has no followers. They have no content.
To each their own. There are things that I like that there are people who are like, "Why do you like that?" But,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
Hey,
those people are dummies.
They're right to their opinion.
Well, I guess we'll sashay on out of the theater.
Here, I can just slide on out of here like this.
I can close the book and go back up. We might release Dagon if we close the book. We can't.
Motrea Sandre Amen. Amanus Sandre Amen. Speaking of which, I have known that for a very long time, and it's from a movie. I actually found it on DVD the other day. We went to this record shop.
Oh, yeah.
It is, oh my God.
The Black Roses?
No. It's Hard Rock Zombies.
There you go.
Yeah. It's really bad, and we loved it.
All right.
Okay.
And on that note,
he's reeling me in.
We're gonna leave the theater.
And we will see you next time on
the Midnight Matinee.
Okay, here's Todd.
You've been watching the Midnight Matinee, brought to you by the Veritas Project. So when the clock strikes 12, grab your tickets for the next episode of the Midnight Matinee.